Hello, I'm Chris Griffith from The Australian, and today we'd like to show you the Apple iPhone, an iPhone that's working here on an Australian network, in this case Vodafone. Apple, of course, around the world are doing deals with particular providers, AT&T in the US for example, where they only allow the iPhone to be used on a single network. In Australia they are yet to come to an agreement with any of our major players, Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, etc. So therefore the iPhone isn't available here. But if you want to take a risk, and it's a fair risk, modify an iPhone bought overseas or on eBay to work with an Australian network, to unlock the SIM card facility on it to work locally. The risk is that you void your Apple warranty for the iPhone. And that's a considerable risk, because to buy an iPhone that's not encumbered to a network would cost you $800–900. If you do take that risk, however, what you get is a remarkable instrument. I mean, if the aliens ever were involved in making any technology, it's the iPhone, because it's so good and so far ahead of the rest. It seems like there's been some extraterrestrial intervention in its production. What makes it remarkable is the fantastic design of all the functions on it. We're used to phones having to deal with menu systems that sometimes don't seem logical or fluent. In the case of the iPhone, everything from making a call to emailing to all the other facilities on here, even MMS works with a third-party application. Everything is nice and logical, and of course what's really brilliant about the iPhone is its wonderful touchscreen. Of course touchscreens are nothing new. Anyone who's bought a GPS is of course probably using a touchscreen instrument already, but Apple have taken this to a new level. Even when it comes to the iPhone menu, it's just a gentle flick that takes you from menu to menu. The ability of the iPhone to handle very minute flicks, as you'll see, makes it a really wonderful thing to work with. When you're looking at your address book, for example, your contacts wanting to make a phone call, just a gentle flick will take you up and down your contacts list. When you find the contact you're interested in, all you do is press on it, open the entry and press on the phone number that you want to call. Even if you're like me, even if you need glasses, the iPhone display is so big it's easy on the run without glasses to press that big red button to end the call when you need to. One of the interesting things about the iPhone is it comes with a keyboard. Now if you've got big fingers, the keyboard can be a little bit difficult to operate. If you're used to the keyboard on a BlackBerry, for example, this is entirely different, because this is a soft keyboard. It's actually on the screen. It's not actually keys as such. I found I can type reasonably quickly with it without making too much of an error, but it is a skill that you need to develop, and maybe it's something that Apple will do in the future, is make those keys just a little bit larger. If you're typing in a word, the software actually predicts what the word will be and enlarges the area around the particular keys where it expects you to actually press. And it comes with a very easy to use correction facility where you can move this little magnifying glass along what you've actually typed to the point where you want to delete a letter or add a letter, and it makes the whole data entry process on the iPod quite spectacular. Apart from the normal phone use, there's the predictable uses like SMS, a calendar. There's quite a good weather program, there's a stocks program, there's a text writing program as well. There's just a few of these that are in there, and of course it has a camera. If you want to take a risk and use non-authorized programs, you can what they call jailbreak the iPhone, which means you open up the ability to get into the system that's on there and add programs. Now there's a program out there called Installer, which, if you install that, gives you access to dozens and dozens of very good programs. These include the ability to send pictures either on a wireless network or via MMS, to listen to radio stations wirelessly, to check how you're going with particular eBay transactions. A really, really good little bit of software that allows you to go into Facebook to see what your friends are up to be able to do some basic Facebook transactions. There's a program that allows you to record voice notes, a PDF viewer. There's alternate SMS programs, there's converters, there's even RSS feeds. All these various add-ons are available, but they are third-party software. They're not authorized by Apple, and if you install them, there's a chance that you might install the wrong version of them, and you might brick your iPhone, which means render it useless. You don't get past the Apple logo, and you turn it basically into a $900 paperweight. It would be great to use the iPhone on a network Apple authorises in Australia, but the fact is that could be months away. So if you want to use the iPhone here, you're forced into this routine of jailbreaking and unlocking an iPhone that you buy on eBay or overseas. You need to have jailbroken your iPhone first so that you can fiddle around with the programs on it, and that, of course, is a very risky exercise. If you know what you're doing, you can run some software on it. One of the alternatives is a program called AnySim, which unlocks the iPhone and allows it to run with a great number of different providers. Now, the risks are big. The risks are, of course, bricking your iPhone, but people who have done this, and they've done it wrongly, have ended up either losing the ability to make calls on it at all, or losing their Bluetooth or wireless facility on the iPhone. That doesn't work, that's going to cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fix, probably more than it would cost for you to go out and get another phone. To actually get the information on how to jailbreak and unlock your iPhone, you need to go online. There are a number of sites that provide this information. You've got to be certain that these sites are giving you good information, and the only way that I would ever try it is if it's done through a dealer who you know and can accurately give you the instructions as to what to do. You can get your iPhone working in Australia with the latest version of the software, which is 1.12. However, Apple are about to release a newer version, 1.13, at their Macworld show. That's going to mean another round of jailbreaking and unlocking your phone if you want to upgrade. The iPhone might be mind-blowing alien technology, but it isn't perfect. For a start, it's not a 3G phone. We don't know why Apple didn't make it a 3G phone. That means you can't do video calls on it, and you can't use networks such as 3's exclusive 3G network. It also means that you can't send MMS messages. But if you use one of the third-party applications that you can download, you can actually do that, and I've done that quite successfully a number of times with this particular iPhone. You also need Wi-Fi to be able to use some of the applications here. The iPhone uses a mixture of communication by phone, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and if you don't have Wi-Fi installed at home, then you won't be able to use some of these functions. The iPhone doesn't use fast networks such as Telstra's NextG network, so data communication that way can be pretty slow. Another issue is the battery. The battery is okay, but battery life isn't spectacular, and it's an internal battery. So if you have an iPhone for an awful long time, you're going to find that you're going to have to take it in to get the battery changed. One word of caution, Apple have actually modified their latest batch of iPhones from December onwards, which means they're much more difficult to jailbreak. In the newest iPhones, you're going to need a hardware modification, a little card that sits on top of your SIM card to be able to use it successfully here in Australia. There are rumours Apple might release a 3G version of the iPhone. There's also rumours around that Apple might release a cut-down, cheaper version of the iPhone for mass distribution. Enjoy.